So last week we spent our time discussing a firm and we understood how the firms are structured, and then we tried to delve into the actual production process in a firm, and in the process we learned about production function. In today's lecture we will be focusing on something called economies of scale. To motivate the ideas, let's ask this question: why have firms like Walmart, Intel, and FedEx grown so large? And they're huge. Just to give an example, Walmart have 2.2 million employees with a revenue of 486 billion. Intel have 106,000 people with a revenue of 59.38 billion. FedEx have an employee of 400,000 with a revenue of 50.6 billion. So why these firms has become such huge giants? And we'll try to understand using the concept of economies of scale. So large firms may be more profitable than a small firm is that the large firm produces output at lower cost per unit. So, and why they have lower cost per unit? This may be because of two reasons. One is technological advantage. Large scale production often uses fewer inputs per unit of output. Just to give an example, it's much easier to scale up, say, for Amazon. Amazon is a huge company, so is Walmart. Suppose there's a new product, how it is easy to sell in Walmart or Amazon than for a mom and pop shop in their local community. And this is the technological advantage because they are better at taking advantage of the technology. For example, if Walmart invests in a technology, they are in a better position to use that technology in a much efficient way than a smaller firm. Second, cost advantages. In larger firms, fixed costs such as advertising have a smaller effect on the cost per unit, and they may be able to purchase their inputs at a lower cost because they have more bargaining power. Again, think about Walmart. If they advertise, they are advertising for all the Walmarts in this whole world. Or at least when they advertise in US, they are actually advertising for all Walmart in the US. But think about a mom and pop shop. If they're advertising, they're just advertising maybe for one or two shops. That's it. So it's much easier to scale up this kind of cost for firms like Walmart or Amazon. Similarly, often Walmarts or Amazons, they are so big, they can have a huge cost advantage in terms of when they purchase their goods and services. Because when Walmart goes out to the market to fill out their shelves, they're buying thousands of pieces, unlike a local store who might be buying, if they are big enough, maybe a couple of hundred pieces. And as a result, often sellers to Walmart are able to give them a much bigger discount. And this is also true for wholesale, right? If you go to a wholesale market, things are much more cheaper. And an example of wholesale markets are BJ's or Sam's Club. They sell in bulk, that's why you get cheaper. Same for idea applies for firms like Walmart and Amazon. So what is economies of scale? Let's try to define it. So the idea in the economies of scale is that bigger you are, more advantage you have. That means you can produce more with lesser and lesser inputs. Economists use the term economies of scale or often increasing returns to describe a technological advantage for large-scale production. Or to be precise, economies of scale, this occurs when doubling all of the inputs to production process more than doubles the output. Again, try to understand it using the production function concept. If you remember production function, we know quantity is some function of K and L. Now suppose we double the labor, so we doubled it 2, we double the capital, we make it 2, but output goes up by 3 times or anything more than 2 times. Then this is called economies of scale, because you are doubling the input but your output increases by more than the double. Now economies of scale may result from specialization within the firm, right? Or also may be simply due to engineering reasons. So there can be different reasons for economies of scale. Let me give you another example. Utility companies. Have you ever wondered why you have only one electric company in your neighborhood? Why you don't have multiple electric companies supplying you electricity and gas? The reason is simple. Once you put all the wires, it's much cheaper to supply you the electricity. So no other firms wants to invest in the laying of new wires or new connections. Similarly, cell phone. If you want to add somebody in a cell phone, you may have to pay additional $10, which is much cheaper than the person who initially took the cell phone maybe paying $50-$60 per line. And this is called something called economies of scale.